So each and everything over here, we just discussed everything, and the important topics I just covered that one, and the remaining, if I left anything, basis on that we are going to discuss. So the value of the very important thing that converts the primitive type to a string value. Okay, this is the important one. Just remember this one. And these two uppercase and the lowercase. Here the substring and index of it is having the overloaded functions. These two are overloaded functions. These two things and these two things also. Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the extraction of a characters. So how we are going to use this one. So extraction of a characters in the sense how we are going to extract from the string consisting of like a hello. There are almost HELLO. So in the sense of 5 characters are there inside a string, how we are going to extract it. So basis on these methods and all, we are going to extract the data. So basis on these methods. These are the methods available inside a Java for the extraction. Right, this one I got this. Yes, I want to remove this one. Wait a second. Yeah, okay. So by using these methods, we are going to extract the data. So here, string class provides several ways in which the characters can be extracted from a string object. String in the sense when we are going to create how we are going to create a string object by using a new keyword like a string and the name of the string, and there is a equal to operator, and after that we are going to take a keyword called a new after that and a string of. In that way we are going to create an object for the string. Because string is a class, we have to create an object for the usage purpose. So there are several examples here, like although the characters that comprise a string within a string object cannot be indexed as if they were a character array. So inside this, actually the string consisting of like a hello. So according to us, if we are going to find, the caret, we already discussed this one. So we are going to find char at which index, char at which index, char in the sense the character. The string in the sense we'll call it as a sequence of a characters, right? So we are going to find out a char over here. So how you are going to retrieve that chars? Char in the sense in the string itself, A, B, C, and D. If you mention like that, each and every character in the sense a single alphabet, we consider everything as a character and a get bytes. So how you are going to get the bytes, how you are going to convert that one, and about that to char array, how you are going to use this one. This is all about the extraction of a characters. So it is like an arrays. So I already mentioned in the previous session about the arrays. What is the arrays? Which of a similar data type. We want to convert each and every string character to an array. How we are going to consider that basis on the indices. Indices in the sense each and everything inside a character, inside an array, we consider them as a particular character. So each and every alphabet, if it is like, see this one, THE, this is one character, this is the second character, this is the third character. Everything we consider this paragraph as a string. Particularly the single one is a character, each and everything will be a string. Okay, I think you got my point, what I'm saying. So how you're going to use this one? With an example, I'm going to show you that. Okay, let me share my slide. Wait a second. Okay, this is not for you. So here the unit 5, right? Let me take a class. We're going to discuss about the methods, just the name, method string. Just I mentioned the name itself. Okay. So this is how it always starts with the capital letter. The class always starts with the capital letters. Every time I'm supposed to tell you, because if there are two words available inside the name, we need to start with the capital letter. Remember this one. And here it started with the capital letter. This is also a capital letter. This is how the coding standard follows. Okay. Now how you are going to create that public static. This is a void main consisting of this one. Okay. So here we are going to discuss about how we are going to extract the string values, how we are going to extract the string values. Okay. So in the previous session, we discussed about the caret, right? So what is the use of a caret in Java? So how you are going to find out? So the particular position, I mean, oh, 1 second. So you are going to check at particular index, we are going to find out a character. So how you are going to use that one? So suppose I'm going to take a string x is equals to, inside this, I'm going to take a hello. I'm going to take a hello. So this is about the string representation of using a literal. We already discussed about this one. So, and there is one more thing, like by using a new keyword, right? So, okay, again, I'm telling you because you have to remember all these things. By using a new keyword like this, inside this, we need to mention hello like this. So this is the two ways for the representation of a string. Remember these two things. One is using a new keyword. Another one is by using a literal. Okay. So we are going to use a string character. I mean the caret. How you are going to find that one? So we need to check. Let me take the char ch. So this is the primitive data type. How many primitive data types we are having? 8 primitive data types. So I'm going to take this primitive data type and I'm going to get a particular character from this. So for that, we need to take the char at CHARAT. So how you're going to get that one? I need to take the string value, string reference x, sorry, not here, x dot caret. I need to mention the index of the particular character. This is like a 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it is like if I mention like a 4 over here, I'm going to find out the particular character at the 4th position and it will be stored inside this. This is how we are going to extract string value. Let me take it as system.out.println. Inside this, I'm going to print the value of a ch like this. Okay. So let me run this program. Just you will get an information about at this position. What is the character over there? This is the O. This is the last one. So this is the O has been printed. Okay. So if I mention like a 0, then we'll get a particular character at that position. Okay. So it is a H. Okay. So how you are going to find out then? How you are going to extract? How you are going to extract the string? This is how we are going to get it out. Okay. So the next one is like, what is the next one? Just forward that. So next one is a get chars. How you are going to use a get chars? Okay. So each and everything you want to retrieve, then you are going to use a get chars in Java. Let me show you the example so that you will get a good idea about that one. Just wait a second. So here I am going to take an array. I'm going to take an array. So for a string representation, let me do that one. Just here I mentioned like this is for like this I'm mentioning for the information point of view. This is char at. Okay, this is a caret function. At function. Okay, this okay. So now I'm going to discuss about get chars. What is the use of a get chars? So here I'm going to take an array and I'm going to insert each and every value, each and every character inside this string to the array. So we are going to take a get char function, which is available inside a string value. Let me take this out. So initially what I'm going to take char, this is an array. How you're going to declare an array? So in this way, like this. If you mention over here like this, it is like in a C language. It is inside a C language, we represent like this. So inside Java, we are going to represent over here. So this is like a characters, A is equals to new. How are you going to do that? Char. So we need to mention the size over here. So we thought, I already mentioned this. The drawback of the arrays is like, you need to mention the size or else you need to initialize it like this, like B. So this is the initialization. So this is the one of the way, or else if you are going to give the input from the keyboard, then you have to mention the size of it. You have to mention the size of it, or else it throws an error. You already know that one array index out of bounds. If you go beyond this, if you go beyond this size, the array will be out of bounds. So remember this one, very important thing. So because the array is also considered by the Java as an object only, it will be created inside a heap area inside a Java virtual machine. Remember this one, okay? It's like we'll take a 10 over here, which is good for us, because if we mention anything like this, if it is more than a 5, then it throws array index out of bounds. So how I'm going to take that one? So here I'm going to take this string x dot. So how you're going to take that? I mean, take that one, the method available inside a get chars. See this one. We are having 1, 2, 3, and a 4. Let me take this out. Okay. So inside this, we are having 1, 2, 3, and a 4. 4 arguments are required to represent this one. 4 arguments are required to represent this one. Okay. So inside this, I'm going to take one more example, like a hello world, like this. I'm going to take. It's okay. So here, how I'm going to do that one? Okay, the starting point. So just I want to mention this one. Just wait a second. So here, first one is like an integer. We should mention an integer. This one also integer, and this is a character array. We are going to use this one inside that. So after that, finally an integer. Okay, let me start with like 0, 1, 2, 3, and a 4. This is a 5, and this is a 6. I'm starting with the 6. This is the starting point. And till where I need to till where I need to consider like 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm going to take it as a 10. Okay. So this is the begin. This is the end. And now I need to take a char array where I need to send all these values like A. Okay. This is an array. And now I need to mention like from where this I need to start. Yeah, we'll take it as the 0 is enough, I think. Yeah, it's okay. 0 is enough, actually. This is the begin. This representation is like somewhat different. Consider these 3 arguments, okay? So concentrate on these 3 arguments. I'm starting with the 6, ending with the 10. And after that, I'm going to consider an array, what I declared over here. And everything will be copied to this character array. So how you're going to print that one? Let me take this out. Let me system dot out dot println. Inside this, I'm going to take an A. Okay, I think you got what I'm saying. Okay, I'm just printing it out. Let me take here itself. If it is like a 5, if I mention it as a 5, this will be an error. So that's why we need to keep everything inside a try and a catch block. Because what if the size has been increased? What the error exception you will get? Not an error, it's an exception. So there are 3 things we need to remember. One thing, like so there are checked exceptions as well as an error. Error was a different thing. So we are going to take like try and catch, because if we, I mean, sometimes we don't know at the runtimes the error will occur. Let me take this out. Sorry. And this is an E, and I'm going to take like a system dot out dot println inside this, I'm going to take an exception. Okay. If anything error occurs, if the size of an array has been increased, it will get array index out of bounds. So this is a default exception. Directly any exception will occur, will be caught by this catch block and it will be printed. Let me take, because the size is a 5, right? And I mentioned like a 6 and a 10. So we'll get an error over here. Okay. So it is like a H. I'm starting with an H because I'm taking this like from here onwards. So this is the for the caret. So now this is a word, WORLD. Okay. So here actually the remaining will be like a 5. 5, you know about the 5, right? The null value. So we are going to get the null value. So we need to take this one as like wait a second. 0, 1, 2, and 3. This is a 4. Let me take it out like a 10. So 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 0 to 9 or 10. Yeah, it is okay. So each and every remaining value, think like this is a null values. So each and every null values has been printed. If I want to print a world also, I need to change the ending name to 11. Okay, let me run this program and it will be occupied by D over here. Okay, this is the D. I think you got the point what I'm saying. So this is how we are going to extract the data from a string value. So initially what we did, if there is any error will occur, it will handle the try and the catch block will handle. Okay. So there are two ways to handle that one. Directly, we can do like this, like after a method throws array index out of bound exception. We can take directly over here, or else we can take over here also. There are two ways to handle the exceptions and all. Okay. So for the method point of view, you can take directly, or else you can take a try and catch block. This is a very important exception handling. So with the practice only, you will understand what all the errors will occur. Just make sure that you're having a good idea about the exceptions. Directly at the time of a method declaration, you can take it over here, or else we can take a try and a catch block. So this is like a default exception. So you can directly catch what are all the things happens inside this try block. Whatever the exception it is, this is an exception. Like if it is like divided by 0, it will be caught. Everything will be caught by using this exception directly. There is no need to mention so this is like index out of bounds E. There is no need to mention a particular exception over here. Directly by using an exception, you can handle anything. You can handle anything. Okay. This is all about the caret and the get cats. Now we are going to discuss about just a second. Get bytes. So how you are going to use a get bytes? Okay. Why I'm stressing like this? Because very important for you. Okay, that's why I'm mentioning for each and every example. I'm just showing you how the error will occur, where the error will occur. So like we need to know about all these things. Okay. So now I'm going to take for loop. I'm going to extract each and every string value, by using bytes. There are 4 methods are available to extract the string values. So we are going to create one more array like this. Now I'm going to take a get bytes. So here, how we are going to take that one? So initially, I'm going to take one more string I will take. So I'm not going to consider this one. So like k is equals to, inside this is a Java program. Okay. This is a Java program. This is a string value inside a k variable. This is just a variable having a type of string over here. And now I'm going to extract by using get bytes. How you're going to do that one? Okay. Byte in the sense allows array like bytes is equals to, here what I'm doing over here, just I'm taking the value of the variable name of a string like a k dot get bytes. Sorry, let me remove this. It is not necessary for you. So each and every byte will be copied to this array. Each and every byte. This is a single byte. This is a one more byte. This is another byte. So each and every character will be copied to the array so that we are going to print that one basis on this. How you are going to print the value of an array? There are two ways to represent the for loop. One is general for loop. We are having an initialization, condition, and one more thing is like increment or a decrement. So, and one more for loop is available, which we call it as enhanced for loop. Enhanced for loop. So what is the use of enhanced for loop? If you want to print everything inside an array, you are supposed to do that. So I'm going to write now an enhanced for loop. Like I'm going to take like yeah, int is okay, right? Int x. No. We need to take a string. I'm going to take a bytes. Okay, this is enhanced for loop. Let me take this out. Already x has been declared, right? So str, I will take it as str. Why? What happened over here? Okay, then we'll take a byte over here. Okay. It is okay. Now I'm going to print the value. How you're going to print the values of an array? In this way. Okay. Let me take this out as for the representation point of view. I'm going to print s, a t, and or. I want a space in between the characters of this program. This is the things is copied to the array bytes. Okay, let me take this as a space over here. Okay, a small space. So I want to make a space in between each and every character. Let me run this program. See this one. So what it is doing over here? Why the bytes has been changed to numbers? Wait a second. So even I forgot to tell that one. Actually, in the words itself, it sends a byte of arrays. Okay, it is like the numbers, the representation of a numbers. So it is like char sequence. I will tell you one thing. You are familiar or not? Actually, this is like for the t itself, we are having one number. For t itself, we are having one number. It is going to print that one. Not actually inside a alphabets. It's like from A to Z. It is like a 26. Think like there are a 26. Is it 26? Yeah, whatever it is. So the alphabets is like a 26. But in the programming point of view, there will be a somewhat a different number for each and every character. So at 20 in the sense, it's like 20 in the sense, it's a T. GH7, 7, H. H in the sense 8, I in the sense a 9, right? So according to alphabets, from A to Z, represent like 1, 2, 3, and 4, like T is a 20, and the H is like 8, I is like a 9, S is like a 19, I think. J in the sense J5, 5, okay. P in the sense a 16. So each and everything according to the alphabetical order, we represent with numbers, but in the sense of a programming point of view, we are having somewhat a different numbers. I think you got what I'm saying. So each will be printed, each and every byte of a particular value will be printed. See this one, THIS and IS. This is like THIS and IS. Sorry, there is a space, right? For the space itself, there is a 32 number, and this is for 115, 150. It is for S. It is for S. JAVA. From where we'll start that one? 115 is and 32 space 0, 97. Okay, the number starts with the 97. I mean, the alphabet starts with the 97. From there onwards, you have to occupy that one. I mean, you have to represent that. The space is like a 32. Okay, the space is like a 32. So we are going to get the byte. So this is how we are going to retrieve each and every byte from the string value. Okay, now I'm going to take a one more function What is that? Can we count the particular character if the character appears more than once? Yeah, there is a program for that. What you mentioned. So there is a program. Directly, we are having a program for that. So we can directly will count the number of characters available inside a string. So how many times it has been repeated. So just the same examples will be appear inside a application itself. I'm doing the same application as the instruction from the principal. I mean, let me wait a second. Thank you. So here we are going to take the comparison of a string. Inside this, how are we going to compare the string values? It depends on your interest. Sometimes it is essential, like check whether the strings are in a proper manner or not, whether the two strings are proper. Just I'm going to share this one for you inside that. Just I want to remove this. I do not require this one right now because we already having a try catch block over here. Okay. So here I'm going to take one more example. So at the end of the unit, I'm going to share you each and every program inside this. Okay. So I will keep that inside one program. I mean, inside a PDF or a Word document. And I will share it with you. Okay. Comparison. COMP test. I will make it as a comparison test. Okay. So how you're going to compare that? First of all, we need to tell the compiler like I have a main method. For that, what we need to do, public static void main. We have to write this. How you're going to find out? I mean, the compiler will find this is a main method by using the string arguments, or else it cannot be identified. Same thing. So now I'm going to take the string comparison method. How we are going to check this out? So first of all, I'm going to declare x is equals to hello. So this is the one I took the first one. And now one more string, I'm going to take this out as a string y is equals to hello. The same thing, I just choose this. Okay. And one more thing, like a string z is equals to world. Okay. So I just declared 3 string values and I initialized it with hello, hello, and world. So how the comparison will occur? Comparison. Okay, this is all about the comparison, how you're going to do that. So initially I want to print. How you're going to check this values? Just these two things I'm going to check now. So the println, and let me take it as x equal to y. So I'm going to print whether x equal to y or not. Why it is showing like already know that. Okay, this is saying like this. Okay, x and y, I'm just comparing this. So I'm going to check this out. See, true. Why it has been true? I'm just compared this x and y because these two things are the same. If I mention like a z over here, what it will do? It gives us a false. Easy. Actually, the comparison is like very easy. So we'll get a false over here. This is all about the assignment operators like equal to. So I'm going to check with somewhat a different way, like x dot equals, and I'm going to assign a y over here. This is also one of the way. This is also one of the way. So here x equals to y. So this is all about the comparison. That's why I'm telling you. The previous one is like somewhat a different true. We got a true over here. See this one. So this is also one of the method available inside string values. Let me show you that. Wait a second. There are 1, 2, and 3 ways to compare the string values. Sorry. Okay, there are 3 ways. One is by using operator this, which has been completed, and this is like equal to method. We already did this one, and now I'm going for one more method, compare to, by using like this, compared to one more string, a z. I'm just representing a z over here. So it is also comparing to this one, which uses a false over here. Let me run this. 47. Yeah, it is like the comparison is like if it is equal, it gives some number. So don't ask me about these numbers and all. Okay, I need to remember by heart, which is not possible for us to represent. If I mention like a y over here, Let's check it out, what it will give. Zero. Okay, now I got the point. So if it is like a true, then we are getting a zero over here. If it is like a false, we are going to get the particular specific value of this string. This is string, we are going to get the specific value of the string. So there are three methods we are having for the comparison purpose. One is like equal to, one more is like, just me wait a second, just paste it, equals to y, and equals y. Okay, I'll take it as a z. Looks good for us. Okay, this is all about the comparison. Only three ways are we are going to compare. Let me run this program. Okay, true, true, false, because these are not equal, right? False, and this is a zero, which is a true value. So this is all about the comparison of a programming. How you are going to compare the string values. So basis on this, we are going to represent this one. So in your examination, give this example and write all about the methods for the comparison. Okay, this topic has been done, and now I'm going for one more topic, like, just a second. Modifying the strings. We already discussed this substring, concat, and replace and a trim. We didn't represented the trim, right? So we already know about the substring. Concatenation also we know that. And the replace in the sense, okay, you didn't know this one, right? We are going to discuss about these two things. Did I left anything? 1, 2, 3. I need to complete the topic today, actually. Okay, Monday itself, I will take a class and I will complete on Monday. So because if I go somewhat fast, you can't understand. Okay, it's okay. Let it be. You may leave the class. We are going to discuss this tomorrow. You may leave the class. Thank you.